All right, so recap and review of Dynamic Discussions episode 3 with Anne the Amazing. Anne, again, in case you hadn't seen the episode yet, she is a mom of 3, she is a lawyer, and she is pretty incredible in the fitness realm. She's one of the fittest people that I know, and she just seriously crushes like all aspects and very, very impressive. One of the quotes that I got from our conversation was, "You'd be really surprised at how strong you are." And she was actually quoting somebody who said this to her back when she first started doing boot camp classes. And I find that to be incredibly true as well. Back when I was teaching boot camps at Dynamics, I'm not teaching boot camps right now, but oftentimes people would grab weights that I knew were too light / too easy. Yes, safety first. Safety is super important. If you're going to grab a weight, you need to make sure that you can handle it, but you would be surprised at how much you can handle. Oftentimes, if I get a new client at the gym and they are a little bit newer to exercise, I ask them what weight they would be comfortable using for a certain exercise like a squat. And they typically will say something on the lighter side. So I give it to them, I let them do it, and they do it fairly easily. So the next time around when we get back to that exercise, I'm like, all right, that one was pretty easy, so let's go way heavier. And I typically like double it or something. It depends on the movement, of course, but you would be surprised at how strong you actually are. So there's the quote. Now let's get into the overview of the conversation. So Anne, she grew up with sports and fitness kind of being a part of her life, and she noticed the benefits of having it in her life. Physically, definitely, strength and aesthetics-wise, she noticed the benefits there, but also mentally and emotionally. She mentioned a couple times how she notices that it makes her a better mom, a better wife, makes her better at her career. And her husband, Josh, also knows, recognizes the benefits for her and will sometimes be like, "Hey, have you been on a run yet today? Have you worked out yet today? You're a little bit cranky," or whatever. And I think that's kind of funny. But anyways, so she recognizes those benefits. And she recognizes the importance of keeping it a part of her routine and does it in the morning. And I find that to be very effective. Getting something that can be challenging done early in the day before other life stuff can get in the way is effective. Lots of times we can prioritize other things over exercise or whatever, really, because of other obligations like work, or we're done working, now we're kind of tired, we don't feel like it, oh, I have to go pick up, whoever I want to hang out with, my spouse or my kids, so life stuff can get in the way, and getting it done first thing in the morning is a great strategy. Plus, here is a bonus benefit of exercise in the morning. So you wake up and then you might feel a little bit tired still, but you exercise. Exercise is going to raise cortisol, whatever. We don't need to get into names, but exercise is going to produce hormones in the body that are going to stimulate wakefulness. And then it will be even easier to wake up at that time or earlier than you would normally after a couple days. So if you want to try to wake up earlier, exercise immediately, and then waking up will get easier and easier and easier as time goes on, as you are consistent with it. Okay, but that was a tangent. Anyways, so yes, Anne schedules that time. That time is for her, and she does what she needs to do. When life stuff does end up getting in the way, because she's got 3 daughters who all play soccer and will have games in different states and stuff, she plans for it. She has backups, so Saturday or Sunday morning, they have to drive to another state pretty early for a soccer game, and they stay overnight or whatever. she's like, all right, I know that's happening. And she'll either plan for it to be a rest day, or she will plan on getting something in the hotel if that's possible. And if that does happen, it is not the end of the world. That's important. Doesn't mean you have to start all over. It just means, hey, let's get right back on tomorrow, right? And Anne doesn't really follow any specific plan, like workout plan, other than trying to get a handful of boot camps a week, 2 or 3 boot camps a week, and then does running or cycling or plays soccer a couple times a week as well. She tries to get at least 5, 6. She even sometimes does 7. I know, and she knows recovery is important, but she is also a beast and doesn't always need or take the recovery day. But anyway, so she doesn't follow a super specific plan, but she gets weight training multiple times a week and then more conditioning type training multiple times a week, which is wonderful. I also asked her about what else she focuses on, and we talked about nutrition a little bit. She isn't on any like specific diet or anything. She doesn't follow any nutrition plan, but her and her family do try to focus on quality and knowing where the food comes from, but they aren't restrictive. You know, if the time calls for it, if something is getting in the way and they have to do something that might not be ideal, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Once you can, again, get back into ideal, get right back into ideal. Excuse me. And one thing that Anne said she does really prioritize is sleep, which I love because sleep is so crazy important. Better sleep makes us better humans. There isn't a thing that better sleep wouldn't improve. Sleep improves everything. And then I asked what the biggest benefit Anne notices about the level of fitness she is in. And she mentioned a couple different things, but I attribute it to being life-proof. So Anne can do whatever she wants, really. If she wants to go play soccer with the kids, she can. And she can even show them a thing or two. She can keep up with them just fine. If they are going skiing or something, she can crush skiing. Doing sprints on the beach, cartwheels, stuff like that. She can do that. So she is truly life-proof. She can go out and do what she wants to when the time comes, which is amazing. And then when I got around to asking her about the piece of advice she would give somebody, it came down to prioritize and execute. Whatever it is that you need to get in, we were mostly talking about fitness, try to prioritize it, figure out what the biggest challenge is. Is it timing, scheduling, or is it accountability? All right, well, figure out how you can get around that. If it's timing, plan for it. Get it done first thing in the day before other things can get in the way. Is it accountability? Find a friend or a partner or a trainer, somebody who will keep you accountable, right? Prioritize and then execute it. And then I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to make it bigger. I'm sorry if you're not watching this and you're just listening to it. Consistent action over time. That is a seriously important point to have inside your brain. Nothing's going to happen overnight. You're not going to get fit overnight. You're not going to lose weight or gain muscle overnight. It will take consistent action over time. If you don't see results immediately, don't get discouraged because it will happen. Fitness is a science. So if you follow the process, the result will come. It just might take time, right? And there you go. Recap and review of Dynamic Discussions Episode 3 with Anne the Amazing. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.